Hey, what's up everyone? I'm Colby from Sanitarium Productions. We're coming at you today with another GI Joe action figure review. We have a massive set here in front of us today to take a look at. This is the awesome SDCC released version of the Crimson Strike, and I guess that's all. The rest of that stuff is in a different language that I can't read. So, the Crimson Strike set, an SDCC exclusive, also available at HasbroToyShop.com. If you're lucky, they may still have a couple of these in stock. That's where I picked this one up at. I didn't make it to the convention at all, so I got lucky and picked this up from the Hasbro's Toy Shop. So, if you're still kind of waiting to find out, watch our review here in a couple of minutes and decide if you want it, and then head on over there and find the link and pick it up if you can. One of the things I want to mention real quick is the fact that this is a really big set, but beyond that, it comes in this really cool slip case. It's got bullet holes in the case. It's pretty awesome. Here's the fantastic artwork. Really cool looking stuff. Flip it around to the back and you can actually see what's included in the set. So this has the the Cobra Scythe, which is the repainted version of the I'm drawing a blank right now. Why is that? Anyways, the GI Joe Chimera, which is the repainted Hiss, the Cobra Scythe, which is the repainted Sky Striker. That's the word I was looking for. Comes with 4 figures: Grunt, Steeler, a cool Alley Viper, and an AVAC figure. Very awesome looking set. I'm really excited to get to tear into this thing. So that's what we're fixing to do. We're going to open this bad boy up, put it together, and do a quick review on all the contents for you. So stick around and decide for yourself if it's worth the price tag, because it's a little hefty. But it's cool, awesome artwork, awesome set. Very cool concept that Hasbro has done for the SDCC. The ideal is that they, Cobra and Joe's themselves have kind of captured vehicles from the other team and kind of repurposed them for their own use. So that's why the Joes now have a Hiss tank and the Cobra now have a Sky Striker. So stick around and we'll tear into this thing, and you can figure out what you think about it. So here is the GI Joe 50th anniversary SDCC / Hasbro Toy Store Exclusive Crimson Strike set. This big cool box and all its contents. So as you can tell, it is a big box, so it just barely fits on the screen the way I have everything set up. So we are going to do our best here to try to figure out how to get everything captured on camera for you. So bear with me if we go off a little bit. But to begin with, we'll just go ahead and mention that it is this really cool slipcase kind of packaging. So it slides off, if I can get it here, to reveal this very cool box art. Here is the slipcase itself. I will try to flatten it out, but it has these really cool bullet holes in it. Very nicely done. Looking at the top of it here, it's got this cool little graphic of a handle, so it's meant to be like a Foot Locker or ammo case or something like that. And the bullet holes do go on the back as well. And it's pretty cool the way they did this. They do have them so that they line up, and so you have the entrance holes on one side, and the actual imprint is different. And then when you flip it over, it's the exit wound, so to speak, and you can see the metal is kind of bent outward. So it's a really cool case. In the bottom corner, you can kind of see the actual contents itself. You've got the GI Joe Chimera, the Cobra Scythe, Grunt, Steeler, an Alley Viper officer, and the AVAC, which is very cool. So we're going to go ahead and set this top part to the side and come back to it later. And now this is the actual box itself that we're actually interested in, because it's got the stuff inside of it. Very cool painted artwork on it showing the Chimera, the Sith, Steeler, Grunt, the Alley Viper, and the AVAC pilot. It is a fantasy scene, in case you didn't already know that. The top of it, again, same kind of handle that was on the slipcase. The bottom doesn't have anything on it. I'll turn it around and flip it so y'all can see the back here. Very cool kind of diorama on the back, showing some of the features of the vehicles, opening canopies, blah 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 blah. The 4 figures down here in a row. Very cool looking. But what everybody wants to see is what it looks like on the inside. So that is what we're doing next. And again, it's a very big box, so bear with me. There are 2 pieces of tape on each side. We are just going to slice open. I know y'all are probably thinking, why in the devil is he opening these things? They are so much cooler if you keep them in the box and all that resale value and blah 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 blah. To be honest with you, I used to get 2 of everything, but I don't have the room anymore. So the advantage here is that you all get to see me opening everything, and if you so choose to get one yourself, you'll know what the insides look like, and you don't have to open it yourself. You can keep yours mint in the box if you so choose. Fold out the cardboard. We're going to flip it back up so this stuff doesn't dump out on us, hopefully. And just pull the cardboard. You can see it's just a cardboard box inside here. Pull it out and hopefully get to the goodies inside. There we go. It's in there pretty tightly, so. And again, it's a big box, so my arms, I'm gonna have to stretch a little bit. There we go. Huge box. And now we've got the empty one here that we'll set to the side. Probably going to try to keep that box because it does have that awesome full cover painting on the front. But you never can tell. I may get rid of it one of these days. Here's everything that comes in the box. A ton of stuff. It's all loose inside of here though, so it kind of rattles around in shipping and things like that, so don't be too worried if you hear it kind of shifting on you when you pick yours up. So we have the main body hull of the Cobra Scythe, whatever you want to call it. We have the main body of the GI Joe Chimera. An accessory pack for the Cobra Scythe. The bottom part of the Chimera, which is the tank treads and stuff like that. We've got the cool looking turret system for the Chimera. The rest of the body for the Scythe. We've got an accessory pack for the Scythe. It looks like it has the tail wings. We've got the actual canopy glass for the Scythe. Loose packaged, we have the canopy for the Chimera. That kind of sucks because that would get scratched easily if you ask me. There is a loose missile here, though it probably just came loose in the packaging, but that looks like one of the missiles for the Scythe. We have looks like an empty bag here that I have no idea what it went to, but attached to it is the Alley Viper, Grunt, Steeler. I'm running out of room. The AVAC pilot. It looks like there's something maybe broken inside of that, or I don't know what that is, but there's a piece of something. We'll look at that in a minute. Then we have the blueprints, documentation, and everything in one bag. Cool. And then we have an empty box. So the empty box becomes trash. And here is everything else that comes with it. If we can see it all in one time, I doubt it. But yeah, there it is. That's all the bag goodiness that we have. So very cool. A lot of pieces in this thing. Next up, we'll take a look at each of these pieces individually and unbag all of them, and then start putting these things together. Then we'll take a look at all the figures and bring it all back home for one final look at the completed set. Alright, we're going to start out here with the instruction documentation package and just dump it all out and see what's in here. So it has a single piece of tape holding it together, so we just carefully slice that open, and then we just dump everything out here. So we have a bunch of file cards here. It looks like we've got AVAC, Steeler, the Alley Viper, Grunt, AVAC, Steeler, and Grunt. So, did we miss one somewhere? Traditionally, there are... Oh, there it is. Alley Viper. So, each of these figures come with 2 file cards, and each file card has 2 different languages on it, which is pretty typical of the 50th anniversary line. So we have the English version, and then Spanish and French, and I don't know what the other one is. Italian, I guess. So you get to pick which one you like better and which language you can actually read. In my case, it is the English version. So the English version of Steeler there, and then we've got AVAC here. And here is the English version of AVAC. Each of these have a nice little drawn picture on it. Then the traditional file card stuff that we get everywhere else. So there is the AVAC pilot. Then we have Grunt here. And the English version here, Infantry Squad Leader. And then the Urban Assault Officer, Alley Viper Officer. So file cards for all 4 figures. Then we have a sticker sheet here. It's like 2 sticker sheets. And this is for the Chimera. And it looks like both of these sheets are exactly the same. So I don't know if that's the way it's supposed to come, or if we lucked up and got an extra sticker sheet here. But I've got 2 sets of stickers for the Chimera. I'll get a scan of these and include into the package here so y'all can see what that looks like a little closer, because it is kind of far away. But cool, I got 2 of those. Put them right there. We've got the blueprints and installation instruction sheets. Folding them out. We have the Chimera on one side, and then the flip side has the Cobra Scythe, which is pretty cool. I do wish they had included separate blueprints for each vehicle, but I guess they're trying to save money and just print it on one single sheet. Again, we'll scan all these in individually. So yeah, there is the instruction sheets. And then we have this big, massive sticker sheet for the Cobra Scythe. And unfortunately, it looks like they only gave me 1 sheet, which is probably what they intended to do with the Chimera as well. But it has some very cool looking decals on it. This, in particularly, this crazy Cobra symbol here is very awesome looking. It's got kind of a coiled cobra with its hood raised up and this nice little emblem behind it. So that is very cool looking. I like that a lot. The rest of these, I guess these are supposed to be scales or something, and it has the traditional Cobra air support symbols on here and some other things. So yeah, very cool. We'll get a scan of this one as well and put it on here and blow it up for y'all. But this thing is really awesome. So yeah, that is what's inside the documentation package. And let me know if y'all also get 2 of these Chimera sticker sheets, so I'll know if I'm the only one that's awesome and gets 2 for 1, or if this was something that they did a lot of. So I'm interested to find that out. But there's the documentation package. So the first thing that we're going to look at is the bagged tank treads. So this is obviously the tank treads that are in the bag. We're just going to go ahead and open this up and start with this So this is the bottom tank treads for the Joe Chimera HISS tank version. If you have seen any HISS tanks ever in your life, then this should be pretty familiar. Pretty straightforward. It does have a tow hook over here on the back side, so kind of cool looking. But that's pretty much all that's in that bag. Here is the top half of the Chimera tank, sealed in the bag. And again, if you have ever seen a HISS tank, this is no real surprise. It is in this nice green color though, which is new. We've not seen a green HISS tank yet. So the ideal of taking a Cobra vehicle and refitting it for GI Joe use. Again, it's not a new thing. They did it with the Tiger Force, and Cobra did it likewise with the Python Patrol stuff. But yeah, it's a cool vehicle. Surprised they didn't try this earlier. Some nice detail work inside the canopy here where the figure would sit. You can see there's some raised etching stuff here on the padded seat kind of thing. So yeah, that is top half of the Chimera. So the plastic bag that we found that was empty, I am going to just go ahead and assume that it was supposed to go for the top canopy glass for the Chimera. So I went ahead and stuck it back in there. And now we're taking it out. But yeah, here is the canopy glass. It's got this nice smoky clear color to it. The one I have may have a few scratches on it here because it was loose in the box. But pretty straightforward canopy glass. The last accessory piece is the gun turret system for the Chimera. It looks kind of cool in the bag here, but it doesn't do us much good in the bag. So out it comes. And this is what we're left with. This is a new gun system. From the best I can tell, I don't remember seeing this type of cannon before. But the actual turret system itself is the same as the rest of the HISS tanks that we've seen in the past. So it does have some nice kind of rivets around the side. The cannons do elevate. So yeah, it's got some interesting little detail work here in the center of that console, but nothing on the back side. So I don't know, maybe they meant to flip it around the other side. And it does have a screw that holds something in place, so I suppose if we wanted to, we could always flip that around the other way and see how it looked, but and we'll leave it like it is, 'cause that's how it came. So the installation of the or the build itself of the Chimera tank is actually fairly straightforward. Very simple. Most everything is already kind of put together for you, but we'll go ahead and go through the steps as described in the instructions. Like our other 50th anniversary sets we've seen in the past, there are no written instructions, just pretty much just the picture stuff. So I'll get a scan of these and show you as we go through here. And we'll just begin at the beginning with step 1. And that is to attach the tank treads to the tank. So, if you'll flip the body of the tank upside down and take the tank treads and flip them upside down as well, the fat end, so if you look at it from the side, you've got the fat end here. This will be the front, and then the single tire, the single wheel goes into the rear of the vehicle. For reference, you can also find the tow hook on the back and match it up here with the single wheel. Then on your body of your tank, find the rear and match it up so it'll fit like this. Then there are 2 tabs and then 2 more tabs right there, which will snap into place here on the rear. And then you've got these 2 little hooky things. They're tabs also, but they're just slot based. You insert the slot here into this opening, and we'll see if we can do this from the side. So start at the front, place that inside there until it locks in place, and then just press down on the back until it snaps in. like that. And that's pretty much it for step 1. Now you have 90% of your Chimera tank completed. So step 2 and step 3 are already done for us, but to show you what they're looking at here, step 2 is to attach the cannon to the this base piece, but again, it came pre-assembled, so we don't have to do that. Then step 3 is to attach this entire piece to this here. And again, it came pre-assembled, so we aren't having to do that. So that's step 2 and step 3 together. Step 4 is to attach your canopy to the actual vehicle itself. And to do that, all you have to do, find this bar looking piece on the canopy, and it will just fit right inside. You have these weird kind of vent like grooves at the center, so you just take this, make sure that it's facing so that it actually fits on there. So you have the open ends facing down and the smooth ends, connected ends facing up. But then you just kind of just stick it in here and press down on it. And it just locks into place like that. Then it closes and opens. And there is a snap in the front to get it to lock in place. And it's not much of a snap. So in this particular one, it doesn't latch very well. I guess it does latch pretty well, but it doesn't seem like it is. But it's holding it down, and that's really all you need. So just press down on it to get it to snap more or less in place, and you're good to go. So. Step 5 is to attach the gun turret to the actual tank itself. So we have the tank, we have the gun turret. If you'll look at the actual turret itself, there are these 3 tabs on the underside. So looking at the bottom here, 3 tabs. And if you'll notice here on the actual tank itself, there are 3 tabs in this big round pit in the rear. So you want to line up those 3 tabs with those 3 points. And it's pretty easy. Sorry, it just slides right in there. And just turn it so that those line up. And then just press down and snap it in place. And then you're good to go. It then will rotate wherever you want it to. And again, it will raise and lower. And pretty much that's all there is for the build for the Chimera. Pretty cool. So now let's take a look at the bagged parts for the Cobra Scythe or Scythe or however you pronounce this thing. We're going to call it Scythe because that's easy to remember. So we have the main body, The bag is kind of tore up a little bit where the little missile attachments poke through a little bit, but not too bad. And this is the only piece that is in this one. It's the main fuselage, hull, whatever you want to call it, for the Cobra Scythe. And yes, it is a Sky Striker, but it's still cool. I do like the red paint job on it. The silver looks pretty nice. But yeah, this is the one piece in this bag. The next piece is the main front canopy piece, fuselage, whatever you want to call it, the front end of the plane. So again, it is the front end of the plane, and it is a Sky Striker, but it's a nice red and gold, silver, paint job. Very cool looking. Some nice detail work on the underside of the fuselage. The paint looks really nice here, and the detail work inside the cockpit is pretty much superb. Very cool looking. They do have the two tones here going on, the red for the padded seats, and then the black and some silver going on underneath. Then you've got your ejection seat system back here, the console system, and a nice little joystick on each side for your pilot to maneuver with. So very cool looking. Check out the back, it's hollow. But yeah, very cool looking. Next up is the actual canopy itself. It should be the only thing in this particular bag, so but let's look and see. So here's the canopy. It is molded in this nice smoky glass color. You can see through it. It's pretty translucent, and it has this nice silver detailing work on the struts that kind of make everything form together. So yeah, it's pretty cool looking. I've got some paint, looks like, on this one that you probably can't see, but you might can right there, but just a little speck here and there, so nothing major. But yeah, there is the canopy for the main cockpit. Another accessory pack. Looks like this one has the tail fins and some of the engine covers. So we have two of the engine covers and two of the tail fins. Pretty cool. The tail fins have this nice kind of yellow green highlight on them, so that's kind of cool. But and the engine covers have some nice bright silver painted on top of the core red. So this is the last accessory pack we have here, and as we pointed out when we were unboxing this thing, one of the missiles kind of slipped out, so it goes with this set anyways. But yeah, it did come out of the bag. So if you'll notice up at the top, it's kind of loosely packaged. So, and this one has actually got a little bit of a tear right here where the tape connects, so not too surprising that some of the pieces came out, but pretty surprising that only one came out. flipping it over, there's the back side. But let's go ahead and tear into this thing and see what's in it. A lot of stuff. Rolly stuff. So, we have the two engines themselves, the exhausts for the engines. I'll stand them up on their end so maybe they'll stay and won't roll off the table. We have the one big drop missile. We've got another of the big missiles that came loose. Then we have 4 of these smaller silver missiles. Actually, there are 2 medium-sized silver missiles and 2 silver small missiles. So they are different sizes here. So 2 of those and 2 of these. Then we have a wing and the other piece of the wing, big wing, and then the smaller wing. So yeah, that's what's in the package here. A lot of cool stuff in here. So now it's time for us to actually put together this Scythe. Step 1 is to attach the fuselage to the main body. So we've got the main body here and the fuselage. In the back there is this just hollowed out square thing, and on the main body we've got this anchor point here, which has these 2 tabs, springy tabs on it. All you got to do is just line the square hole up with a square peg and press in till it snaps in place. Step 2 is to attach the canopy to the fuselage. So we got the canopy and the fuselage here. On the back side of the canopy, you've got these 2 springy things, tabby things with some little round circular peggy things on them. And it will just fit into this little slot opening right here on the rear of the canopy, or sorry, fuselage. So just line that up over top of it and kind of press in a little bit, and then just press down on it and it just snaps into place. Then it will raise and lower and just lock into place. You may have to press down on it to get it to snap in, but then it should lock in place here at the front. And to open it, just press up on it and voila. As you can see, there's this little tab indentation place in the front, in front of the cockpit steering instruments. And on the top of the, or the front of the actual canopy, there's this small little tab here. So when you press down on it, it just locks in place like that. And that's all there is to it. Step 3 is to attach the large wings. So we have 2 of these large wing pieces, 1 for each side. As far as orientation goes, if you look at the wings themselves, see if I can get the light here. you'll see that you've got these molded in flaps. Those will go to the back, to the rear of the jet itself. So orient them, and then if you also look at just the angle here, you've got the kind of rounded angle that will go towards the front of the vehicle. So let's just spin this thing around so we can get a better look at it. And it probably would help if you go ahead and swing the wings sections out. And just to do that, just pull back on your this joint thing here. You may have to press up on these wing pieces to get them to lift up enough to clear this backside. But then it should just theoretically give it a little bit of pressure. It may be tricky to get it to work the first time. There we go. Just pull back on the lever until they snap out like that. And the reason it's kind of difficult is these pieces here kind of get caught up under, well, retract it here, this little joint on the back side. They do get caught there, so extend the landing gear and pull the wings out to the full formation like that. Then on the wing itself, you've got these two tabs, and on the actual plane you've got the tabs on the side. So we're just going to line those pieces up and just snap it into place. So just line it up and press in until it snaps. And you may have to pull back on that thing so it doesn't extend itself while you're doing this. And they just lock into place like so. And you may have to press in on them a little bit to get them to go flush, but it should go in there fairly easily. Do the same thing to the other side. Just line up these two tab pieces with the tab holes on the side. And pull back to get a little bit of pressure on it. And it's kind of hard with one hand to press in enough, but just kind of get it started. And then just work it in until it kind of snaps into place. And there we go. The wings are now on. So when you push this lever forward, the wings now fold back in on themselves and pull it back to extend them out to full formation. Again, if you've got one of the other Sky Strikers, the mechanism is the same. When you do that, you'll notice that the landing gear also tract and retract. So this is with the little button thing pressed all the way towards the front, and then pull back and the landing gear pop out. Just like that. Step 4 is to attach the smaller wing pieces to the rear. You've got two of them, one for each side. As far as orientation goes, it's pretty much the same as the front wings. If you'll notice on, if we can get the light here, there is some molded in flappy things here. They're not really flaps, but they kind of look like them as far as jets go and things like that. So that will go to the rear of the plane, and you'll want the kind of rounded angle so that it the long piece will go towards the front, the short side goes to the rear. And for these rear ones, they attach to the very side of the plane, and I'm going to go ahead and retract these to try to get a side view here for you. So this is the piece that we're going to attach the wing to. And all you got to do is just kind of line these up with that opening. And then just snap it in place. And that goes on a lot easier than the front wings did. Same thing for the other side. Line those up. And let's see if we can do this with it out. Line that up with the side and just press it into place until it snaps in. There we go. And voila, the rear wings are on. And as you can see, when you retract the landing gear, there is a small, ever so slightly gap, and they kind of fold back into make one kind of wing shape there. So that's pretty much it for the wing installation. Step 5 is to attach the top wing pieces. So we have 2 of them, and these are the black with the yellow stripe at the top. And they are identical except for the fact that there is this slight bar on one side of these pieces. So there's a raised plastic piece on only one side. And that is the side that you want facing to the inside of the plane. So we'll do this one at a time here. They go into the rear of the vehicle. There are these openings right here, just behind the wing activators. And as you can see, there is a slight depression in them. So you can line it up so you'll find the that bar thing kind of lines up there with that slight depression going that way. And you pretty much just line those up straight like that and just press them into place. And just snaps in there like that. We'll do the same thing for the other side. We'll get it turned around here so you can see. I'll try this at a slight angle to better illustrate. So just line that up and press down to snap it into place. And that's pretty much it. Now you have your rear top wings attached. Step 6 is to attach the engine exhaust pieces, and we've got 2 of them, and they fit in the rear of the vehicle. So you just turn these so that the open hole faces the rear, and you just kind of slide these in, and tension just kind of holds them in place. There's no snaps on them or anything like that. So yeah, you just slide them in there. And if you'll notice on these, I don't know if you can see easily or not, but there are 2 slightly round pieces on the side. For me, I usually just put those going across ways so that that bar kind of lines up with the edge of the plane here. But you can turn it whichever way you want, and if anybody knows how that's actually supposed to go, let me know. But I just line those up so that it kind of goes straight across with the following the contour there of the back side of the plane. Step 7 is to attach all the missiles. So we have our big bag of missiles here. I'll just dump them out. The first one we're going to attach is the big belly bomb, which will go here in the center of the vehicle. As you can see, there's a indentation here that will grab a hold of this bar here that's molded in. Orientation wise, if you I guess there's no good way to kind of show that, but at the on one side you have this kind of nose cone piece. I don't know if we can see that in this light or not, but there's a nose cone piece on one side, and it's just kind of flat on the other side. The flat piece goes to the rear. The nose cone faces the front of the vehicle. So orient it like such, and then just line up and press down on it, and it should just snap in place. This would probably be a lot easier if you did the missiles before you did the rear wingy things, but the instructions say put the wingy things on first, so that's what we did. But just press in on it a little bit and it catches and holds pretty easily, so you can actually pick up the vehicle with it, so it's in place, no danger of falling off. Next we'll go ahead and get these two big dark gray black bombs. They are identical, so it doesn't matter which one you grab. Again, find the nose cone, face it towards the front of the plane. The kind of flat end goes to the rear. That's for the actual exhaust to come out. And these big missiles actually fit on underneath the wing pieces, and they have just a traditional dumbbell attachment pieces. So just find the dumbbell attachment on there and just press down until it latches on. Do that for both of them, one on each side. And if you need to flip it around so you can actually see what you're doing, go ahead. But just press down until it latches in place, and again, just pressure is all that holds it on there. It's not an actual locking mechanism or anything. Next up, we'll get the two longer silver bombs. So, as we showed you earlier, there are two different size silver bombs. Grab the slightly longer ones, and they will attach to the main body, pretty much right in front of where the rear landing gear are. So find your rear landing gear, go forward until you find the dumbbell shaped holder. On the missile itself, it's again same way. The flat end goes to the rear, the nose cone goes to the front, and just line up the little dumbbell thing and press down until it latches on. Two of those, so go ahead and attach both of them. And those missiles are in place. The last set we have are the two smaller ones, and the only two left are the front fuselage piece. And again, it's just a regular dumbbell shaped attachment. So just line it up, press down on it, kind of wiggle it a little bit if you have to get it to go on there flush. Do the same thing for the remaining missile. And there you go, your Sith fighter jet is now fully armed. And if you turn it up and shake it, they don't fall off. It means you have them all latched on good. So I'll go ahead and extend the landing gear so it has something to sit on. And we're ready to go to the next step. The final step is the engine covers, and they're not really engine covers, but they're their access panels. So you have two of those, one on each side. So there's one on this side of the plane. We swing it around. There's the other one. We'll do one at a time here. And luckily these panels will only fit on one side. and they are shaped in the same size cutout as we have here. So essentially match the cut up shape to find out which side they're on. To get them to attach on the actual piece itself, there are these two tabs on one side, and on the actual body of the jet you've got two indentations. So just line those up, put the tabs in the tab hole, and then press down to get it to the lock. Same thing for the other side. You've got the two tabs on one side and the one single small tab on the other side. Swing this over here. Line up the two tabs with the two tab holes and press down on the far side of that to get it to the latch. And that is the last step for the assembly for the Crimson Strike Cobra Scythe. The only other thing left to do would be to attach all the stickers, which we'll probably not go through here, but I will get you a scan of those so you can see those in detail. But this is your completed Cobra Scythe vehicle. It's very nice looking, very cool. We'll do a slightly larger review of it here in a little while, but that's the assembly process. Next up we have the actual figures themselves. So there's 4 figures that come in this set. Steeler, Grunt, the AVAC pilot, and the Alley Viper officer. We'll unbag all these individually and take a closer look at them next. We're going to start out with the Grunt action figure. Here he is in his sealed bag. So we're just going to slice open the bag and take a look at the figure. So we have the Grunt figure, and then his accessory kit, which is also bagged individually. And we'll have to open it up as well. And dumping the contents out, and let's see what we got here. We've got the 50th anniversary figure stand. Nice gold paint job and the code name. We've got this cool looking assault rifle. We've got a cool looking pistol and his helmet. His helmet is kind of cool in that he has this removable night vision spotter scope thing that is movable. So it flips up and it flips down. But that's all the accessories he comes with. And we have the figure itself here, which is pretty cool. It's a nice green color. It looks like he has the same web gear as the Cobra Night Viper. And for that matter, it looks like it may be the actual same mold as the Night Viper, for the most part. Articulation is pretty standard on these things. So you've got the traditional arm movement, the elbow joint, and the wrist joint. Their wrists are the ones that go side to side and swivel, so that's a cool little feature. Head articulation, 360 degrees, and up and down. So pretty standard as far as what we've seen in the past, so nothing special there. Looking at just the detail work, it is a pretty nicely detailed figure. A A lot of cool stuff. He's got kind of these tanker boot covers on, which is a nice touch. Then on his left side, he has a pistol that is completely molded on. It looks like it's not removable, which is a shame, but he does have a pistol on his side, so that's cool. The little pistol that he comes with does fit in his shoulder holster. Doesn't fit well, but it fits. It's kind of loose in there, but it does fit, and if you shake him, it's not going to fall out, so that's at least a cool little feature. Again, it's the same kind of web belt we've seen with the Night Viper, and this one is coming off, so it fits really loosely upon him, but that's not a bad thing. We'll see if we can attach his helmet here. Goes on pretty easily, and then you can see you can flip up the little spotting scope, though it does kind of block his field of vision regardless if it's up or down. So I guess to get it completely out of his eyesight, he'd have to flip his helmet up a little bit more or push it back further on his head, which you can do pretty easily, and that actually looks pretty good. So not bad. Then his assault rifle fits in his hand without any problems whatsoever, and he's ready to rock. So yeah, that's not a bad figure. I do wish that pistol on his side was removable, but it is molded in, so oh well. It's still a nice looking figure. So yeah, there is Grunt. This is Steeler. The shipping bag that it comes with, we're just going to go ahead and open it up. Dump it out. And like the rest of the figures in the set, his accessory kit is also individually bagged. So let's see what he comes with. Quite a few things. He's got the traditional figure stand with his code name and the gold logo painted on, so that's cool. Then as far as accessory goes, he's got his trademark helmet with a cool red LED looking thing that does, the visor does flip up and down. Very nice. He's got an assault rifle. He has a pistol, and he's got this cool walkie-talkie radio thing. So, all very cool accessories. Looking at the figure itself, articulation is the same. Should be noted, I guess, that they've got kind of a similar paint job going on between Steeler and Grunt, in that they have this kind of underarm gray going on, and then the green on top. So that's kind of cool. I like that they're keeping that consistent since it's a set, and they are supposed to be manning the Chimera HISS tank conversion kit. The actual detail work on this figure is pretty outstanding, pretty nice. The web gear that he's got looks like it's the same as what came with Hawk and a couple other figures, and it's very nice. It's got this really cool detailed backpack that's built into the web harness. Some pouches and stuff like that on the front. If you twist his waist, he has a holster for his pistol, and the pistol fits in there pretty easily, if your fingers are smaller than mine anyways. But it does slide in there pretty easily and does lock in place, so you don't have to worry about it falling out. And it just kind of rides up under the web gear. On the top of the web gear, it's got a attachment point for the radio. There's just a little peg hole there. So you just kind of peg the radio in place there, and he can talk on the radio while he's driving or shooting or whatever he wants to be doing. The hands on him are only the single rotation joint, not the side to side. So unlike Grunt, he only has articulation for the twist feature at the wrist, but all the rest of the standard articulation is in place. Then we'll grab his helmet and stick it on. His helmet fits on there pretty loosely, and the visor is kind of loose. But once you get it in place, it does look pretty cool. Still a little wiggly, but not too bad. So we can go up and down, depending on which one you like better. I think I like it down. Gives him that cool futuristic look. Then his assault rifle fits in his hand easily. And it does look pretty good on there. So yeah, here is Steeler in all his glory. Very cool looking figure, if you ask me. Here we have the AVAC pilot. And his individually bagged accessory kit. And it looks like we have a slight problem here. Nothing too major. Moving the accessories aside to the moment. The figure stand that comes with it. Again, the 50th anniversary. Gold painted. But this little piece here is the actual foot peg. And it's broken off of this one. So hopefully y'all won't have that problem, but it's nice that it's got the code name on it, and I've at least got one foot peg left, so that's good enough. I should hold it in place. But this piece is a broken piece off of that, so boo. Accessories, he has this cool looking small knife that has some paint apps on it for the silver. He's got his small handheld Uzi looking assault pistol thing, and this crazy looking assault rifle that looks like it's missing the front half of it, but it is not broken. It's made that way, so yeah, not too bad. He's a pilot after all. So let's take a look at the figure. They've kind of updated this figure now in this cool black. But other than that, it looks same helmet as the original AVAC from the 25th line. He's got the cool kind of general looking gear, dress black, some nice medals on him. So yeah, that's a nice looking figure. I didn't expect this figure to actually end up looking this nice. The 25th anniversary red one was pretty plain. But they've added quite a few different highlights and things to this one, so that's kind of a nice little touch. On his leg here, he's got kind of the... Traditionally, this would be like a map thing, so I don't know if that's still a map thing or if that's some sort of digital mapping device, which would be kind of cool. Articulation on this thing is pretty much the same as we expect with all the other ones. The wrist joints are only the twist, but the head moves 360, up and down, shoulder joints, elbow joints, double knees, and then the feet that rotate and go up and down. So standard articulation points. He does have these nice shoulder thingies, I don't know what you actually call them, and this cool little band that comes down off of the on one side. So then on his right leg, the lower right leg, he has a nice holster for his little knife, and the knife fits in there very easily, and it's not coming out, so that's cool. Then you put his pistol in his hand, no problems with that one. And then this crazy looking gun in his other hand, and it also fits pretty easily, so no problems with him holding his weapons or anything like that. This little snub-nosed gun does kind of look weird, but I guess if he's in some kind of jet or something, you don't have a whole lot of room, so you want a kind of smaller gun anyways. But so that's the AVAC pilot. I really like this update. The black suit really works well in terms of a fighter jet pilot, so a little dressy, I think, for doing too many missions and things like that, but the last figure in the set is the Alley Viper Officer. And I'm actually looking forward to this figure. I've always loved the Alley Viper figures. Even back to the original release in the vintage line was always a favorite of mine. His cool accessory kit. I say cool because if it's anything like the rest of the Alley Vipers we've got, it should have some cool accessories in it. Let's find out what we got. So we have the figure stand, 50th anniversary standard, gold plating, codename on it, Alley Viper Officer. And unlike our AVAC pilot, the foot pegs are not broken on this one, so that's a plus. We've got his very cool looking shield in this kind of nice, it's kind of orange but still red at the same time, and black camouflage paint with the Cobra symbol on it. Cool. He's got a fairly large assault rifle. He's got the traditional Alley Viper small assault rifle. I love these things. He's got a billy club, a small knife with silver paint apps, and a larger machete. And then he also has a helmet. And looking at the helmet, the faceplate opens. That's cool. It's like Iron Man's helmet, sort of. It's got the nice Cobra symbol on the front and on the top. And it opens up to show you the mask inside, which is the trademark of the Alley Vipers. So that's really cool. I don't know if you can really see this or not, but on the back side of the faceplate that flips down, they've kind of molded in some kind of detail work on that to kind of show the actual visor. So it's like an electronic visor, so that when you flip it down for protection, I guess this kind of extrapolates data and has a camera built into it, so he still gets like a heads-up display or something on that screen. So that's very cool. Let's take a look at the figure. The figure is in this nice black and silver and reddish orange color. The reddish orange kind of looks a little sloppy paint wise, but it looks really nice. The detail work on it is, as with most of the Alley Viper figures, pretty much awesome. A lot of cool detail work. The little armband badge stuff. His head is molded into that cool little faceplate looking thing. He's got his web gear, which has got a lot of really cool detail work on it. Some extra clips here, a lot of pouches. A lot of cool detail work on that. Looking at the actual web gear itself, he does have a holster here for the large machete, which just fits in there just like that and holds in place very easily. Very cool. On his right arm, he also has a sheath to hold this little bitty knife. So you stick that knife in there and it fits in very tight, very secure, so he's not gonna come out of there. So that's very awesome. Articulation points are pretty much the same as the rest of them. The wrist joints are only the swivel joints, not the side-to-side rockers. But all the rest of the articulation points that you expect are in place. So shoulder, elbow, head, waist twist, or ab crunch piece, whichever you want to say. The double knee joints and the swivel and rocker on the feet. Very cool. I've always liked this figure, as I had said before, so it's nice to get a new one of them, and a little bit closer to the original release, though it's more of the nice stealth mode kind of stuff. So this is what you would expect out of a real kind of covert operations Alley Viper. We'll take his helmet and slide it on, and it does fit kind of loose over it. It does stay in place very well, but it is really loose. It's not going to like shake off or anything like that, but when you go to be moving the articulation point, the visor, the helmet does slip a little bit. Not that big a deal, but just something to note. I do think that maybe a black version of this helmet would have been a better choice rather than this silver. It is kind of distracting, but it looks really nice on the figure. Then he's got his big shield, and I should point out on the shield that on the inside of it, where they've got the handle, excuse me, there's also a place to attach his billy club. So you just kind of put that in there and press down on it, and it locks in place. Oops. Locks in place, and he can carry his billy club with him. Then as far as his assault guns go, the really only downside I would say here is that it's really hard to get both weapons in his hands and the shield, and there's no really place to attach the shield, so it would have been nice if they'd thought to put like a little hanger on the back or something like that. But not that big a deal, like I said. You have to swap out. You can use the shield or both guns at the same time. And I think I like it with the shield better anyways, but you can always stick the gun somehow in his web thing so he can carry it at least. Not the best way of carrying a weapon, but it does work. And allows him to have all of his accessories and run around with them. So yeah, I really like this figure if you didn't know that already. Very cool update to the Alley Viper. And here are all four figures side by side for comparisons. They're all about the same size, so that's cool. And for the sake of argument, we're going to toss in our handy dandy reference guide beachhead here on the side. You move them in a little bit to get him in here. So you can see that they're all size-wise in comparison with the original 25th anniversary, so it should fit in well with all of your other figures from then on. So it's nice. The color schemes work well. The two Joes, the green and gray and black, and then the two Cobras in the black and silver and that weird kind of orangish red color. So overall, a very cool pack. Very cool figures that they included here. Not a bad one in the bunch, I don't think. Grunt is probably the weakest of the batch, but still, he's kind of cool. So there we go. And here's the final contents of the set. The 4 figures you get: the Chimera tank, the Sith fighter jet. You can see the different size comparisons here. So yeah, I don't know what else to say at this point. Cool set. It's a nice reuse of existing molds. The Hiss tank we've seen many times before. The jet we've seen many times before as well. It's still cool. Still a nice big vehicle. And the figures are really nice updates on all of the different ones we have here. So yeah, this is a very cool set. So there's our review of the GI Joe 50th Anniversary SDCC and HasbroToyShop.com exclusive Crimson Strike box set. It comes with a lot of stuff. The cool Cobra Scythe, that is the repainted Sky Striker. The cool GI Joe Chimera, which is the repainted Hiss tank. Grunt figure, Steeler, AVAC pilot, and Alley Viper officer. Very cool set. I really like the color scheme on the Sith jet. It's got this really cool red and silver color scheme. I've always been a big fan of the Python Patrol theme. This is probably as close as we're going to get to a Python Patrol Sky Striker anytime soon, so it's cool for that. Is it worth the price for the exclusive if you didn't pick it up when it was available at retail? That's hard to say. I absolutely do not regret getting this thing. It's very cool. Would I pay more than the retail price that I paid for it? Probably not. Considering that they are re-releasing the Sky Striker in a nice stealth color scheme coming out soon, along with another Hiss tank. Yeah, it's probably a toss-up. I would probably say, unless you get a really good price on this thing, it's probably okay to skip this thing. It is a cool set, cool figures, cool paint schemes on the vehicles, but at the end of the day, it's still a Sky Striker and a Hiss tank. Most of which are available pretty cheap, so you could get it and paint it yourself if you wanted to. But I'll leave it up to y'all. Say, I have no regrets about getting this thing myself. I probably won't be picking up a second one, but I've got it now, so it doesn't really matter. So, yeah, make your own mind up. It's not bad. It's cool for what it is, and I like it, but that's me. So, anyways, I hope you all enjoyed this. If you have any suggestions for us or any thoughts, leave some comments below for us. If you haven't already, feel free to subscribe to our channel. If you liked the video, give us a thumbs up. If you didn't like the video, you can give us a thumbs down if you want to, but you don't have to do that. Anyways, I appreciate y'all listening to me for a little while today, and we look forward to getting some more of these reviews out for you in the near future. So, happy collecting, and until next time, Yo Joe.